Voice of Stickers of the C.A.N Report, Mike Goldstein, Nozzle Tough. I'm here on site in Nashua, New Hampshire for the grand opening of GD Psych Services. We are on Main Street in Nashua, New Hampshire, and I have the pleasure of talking to my twin sister, Dr. Stacey Goldstein-Dwyer, the owner of GD Psych Services. And we are going to be talking a little bit about what she does, what the company is about, and why they're here in Nashua. And so if you guys are wondering why you see a similarity, this is the reason. Twins. So Stacey, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
You're welcome, Stacey. So, Stacey, you run GD Psych Services in New Mexico.
Yep.
And then you're also up here in Nashua, New Hampshire.
I am.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you start this whole thing?
Sure. So I was in the Army, psychologist in the Army, and I was medically injured and so was medically retired. I was on my way here, or not here, New Mexico. I was on my way to my new home in New Mexico, which is the place I decided to stay because they needed a lot of mental health support out there. I am from New Hampshire. I was actually born in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but I spent most of my years here in New Hampshire. So I opened up one location in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, thinking I really want to help our community and I want a one-stop shop. So the idea of GD Psych Services is that you can get help in every area that you need for mental health, or mostly every area, so that you don't have to work through the system. Working through the system is very, very difficult. Calling and just making that call and getting help is very difficult. But what if you see a provider, a therapist, and they say, hey, I think you need some medications? Well, then you have to do that all over again. And then the two providers don't talk, right? And so you don't have really good care. It's very confusing. So I wanted to give the community a one-stop shop for mental health, but I also wanted to do a place for our providers, our therapists to come and work, feel very supported, have a lot of administrative staff and a lot of administrative support, be appreciated and welcomed. And that was really important for me as well. But I based my practice out of New Mexico for the idea that there was just a lot of people out there who needed help. And I wanted to meet the need. And that's what we do. We meet the need. I started in one office in Rio Rancho. I'm now in Grants, Santa Fe, Albuquerque. We have 5 locations in Rio Rancho alone. We're in Los Lunas, New Mexico. And then I got a call from my bro over here who asked me to see if we can provide the same kind of services here in New Hampshire to our firemen and women who need help. And we basically heeded that call and came and opened up this beautiful office, which is, I got to say, probably the most prettiest office I have.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous office for sure. We did a lot of work on getting it where it needs to be. Beautiful new carpet and painting and artwork, and right across the street from Michael Timothy's Kitchen and all the other great eateries in the downtown area of Nashua, New Hampshire. And like you kind of hit on is, I reached out to you because I was feeling the effects of work. And what we do in the fire service and first responders is difficult, and we need someone to talk to. And when I was going through my issues, I found the real hard part was finding someone to talk to. And I couldn't talk to anyone within the walls of my firehouse because it was taboo. And if the stuff I was talking about was issues with management, with my administration, and trying to talk about that to those guys was going to be meaning they're going to come back and tell that chief that I was talking about. It was that we talk about the bucket, where you can only fill it so much and it starts spilling over. And that's ultimately what was happening with me, is the bucket was filling over and I was taking it home. I was unhappy, and I finally reached that wall where I couldn't push through it anymore. And I knew I needed to get help, and I had the hard time of trying to find help. They're either booked up or, because there's only so many of who specialize in first responders. So they're booked out for a couple months. And, I think it's a horrible thing for anybody to have to wait for those kind of services. So that's why I reached out to you. And I know that we're doing better as a state to get the help to our first responders, but we still have a long road to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. And I hope that having GD Psych Services here can help a little bit in that area. We are a little bit different in terms of our approach with appointments. So we never have a wait list,
Nice.
ever. If someone's in a crisis, we will find somebody in the company, whether it's in person, video, or phone, to be able to see that person right away. If they're military, they're first responder, it does not matter. You show up, you call, we will get you seen in the minute. And we don't ask for insurance until after you're stable.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's so key right there. You're hitting that like, you walk through the door, we need your insurance. Not what's your problem, but hey, I need to verify you can actually pay for this first.
Hmm.
Because if you can't, I don't know what we're going to do for you. We'll refer you to somebody else, and
Right.
that's a horrible thing. Like I said, it takes a lot of courage to step out of that comfort zone and to get the help that you need. And when you walk into that office and they hand you a clipboard and say, we need your insurance first.
Hmm. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Not if you're coming in a crisis. If you're stable and you're looking to get care, then yes, we will definitely check insurance. But we also have a sliding scale fee. And if it's our military, a firefighter, fireman, firewoman, medical, police, we will see you if you can't pay.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So, what other kind of services do you provide? Like, so what is it? Some of the therapy that you suggest for first responders, or what did they should expect from you guys?
So when they come in and they sign up for treatment, they'll first have a normal intake, which is where our providers will talk with the person, kind of get a good background, what's going on, and start, thinking about, okay, how should we approach this? What's the most important thing that we need to focus on right now? And the biggest thing is they're going to work collaboratively with the person on their treatment plan, determine what they need to do, where to go, and what kind of support they're going to get. But we also have medication management. And sometimes somebody might see a therapist who says, you've got a ton of anxiety right now, and it's getting in the way of you being able to utilize
Hmm,
the treatment we're talking about. So let's get you on some medications. And that's within the company. So immediately we go ahead and get that coordinated. We do evaluations as well. So some of our firemen and women in our military and our police have needed TBI evaluations. They've injured their head multiple
sure.
times, and they have traumatic brain injury and they're not aware of it. So we do a lot of that testing, but we also test for autism, ADHD, dementia. We test for everything. We also do forensic evaluations. So if you're court involved and you need an evaluation for your mental health, we can do that as well. We do group therapy too.
Hmm,
We're actually trying to get a free group running now for our firemen and firewomen,
that's great.
and it's free. We also right now are offering 2 free sessions, so that way you can kind of get a feel and know what it's like to be here at GD Psych Services. And then after that, we can talk about insurance if needed. We also do crisis calls. So if it's outside of our office hours and it's military, domestic violence, or first responders and family, all they have to do is press that option in our directory and you will right away be connected with a crisis clinician. We
Wow.
don't charge for that, we don't get paid for it. It's a free service that we provide because we were very dedicated
Hmm.
to our military and our first responders
That's impressive.
and our domestic violence.
And so, in this office here, you have a good amount of room here.
Yeah.
So I see you have a room set up for child services,
Hmm.
and you've got like three other offices we got going on here, or actually four.
One,
Well,
two, three, four, five. We have
nice.
six.
So you got six offices set up for people that need it, and your clinicians, they all different levels, different services provided.
Yeah. So they're all trained in different things and specialty, although every single one of our providers are trauma informed. Um, we have a lot of trauma in this country,
Mm,
a lot of trauma. And so we've got a lot of training for that. But also, we're making sure that here in Nashua, New Hampshire, our providers are trained in working with our firemen and firewomen, not just military. All of that is very different, right? Approaching somebody who's been in the military versus someone who's been fighting fires is very, very different.
yeah,
Policemen, very, very different.
yeah.
And it's important that each one of our providers are aware of that and can approach our peeps who need us, right, from the right space and with the right intervention.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And I, I just love that we were able to do this and open up this spot. And I think it's super important that departments in the state know that there's places here um, right in the downtown area. So if you need it, you've got to call these numbers. Numbers listed on the background right here, 603-404-8462. Go on their website. And if you need any questions, need help, you can reach out to me. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. But like again, from my history, I knew I needed to get help. There wasn't help readily available. It was really, really tough to try to find somebody I needed to talk to. And I was tired of bringing it home. I constantly was talking to my wife about all the problems I was having at work. And honestly, I don't feel like she signed up to listen to all my problems every day about one person. And,
She kind of signed up for
she
it.
kind of signed up a little bit of it, but it's kind of, you're droning on every day and day, day out and about the same issues, the same problem. And I talk a lot about, sometimes you need to move on. You can only mow your grass for so long until you make a bald spot, and then that grass isn't going to grow back. So eventually you have to make that move and move on to new departments. But not everyone has the luxury. It's pretty difficult to make that change, especially when you're over 40 and you don't want to have to go and become a probie all over again. So it's a scary thing for people to do, and people need to talk about those options too. And I think that's really important, is that um, to talk to someone and just literally just to vent. That's what it's for. It's just to talk
Mhm.
and get those problems out instead of that ball keeps getting bigger and bigger in the pit of your stomach. So you have roots in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
You actually
I grew up on these streets.
yeah.
Hmm.
So you and I grew up in Nashua, New Hampshire. We went to school, elementary school. We grew up we went to Sunset Heights.
Yeah, we did.
We went to Elm Street Junior High, and then
We're old.
yeah, and then you went into the Army, and then you started getting your information, your education about this.
Yeah, so I went into the Army as a psychologist. I actually had no intentions of doing it. I didn't think it was going to be a good fit for me because I kind of do my own thing and I don't listen. Um, and I'm also very bad at following directions. So I wasn't sure that was going to be for me. But when I was getting or doing my APA internship, which is very hard to get, I saw that the Army had a different plan. And the Army wanted to get rid of the stigma. So they wanted to embed us with the brigade.
Hmm.
So we were going to, deploy with our soldiers. We were going to do the same training with our soldiers. We were just going to be embedded. We were just going to be there as an everyday
Yeah.
team member, right? And so I wanted to sign up for that. I definitely thought that was awesome.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, after 3 ruck marches in basic, I broke my foot and my shin, literally just kind of crushed. And I was in and out of the cast for 2.5 years.
Oh,
So I couldn't stay in.
yeah.
But when I was there, I saved lives. And that was pretty freaking cool.
That's awesome.
I saved lives, did a lot of work with our special ops, with chaplains, um, did a lot of hard work with infantrymen, just women and men from all over the place. It was really, really cool. Great work. Definitely saved lives. I loved what I did.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, I had to medically retire.
Right.
But when I did, I like you, we actually have very similar experiences. I've never shared it with you, but really struggled when I was in the military because I was broken. I
Hmm.
had a broken foot and a broken shin. It wasn't healing. And in the Army, if you're not able to get out there and do all this fitness stuff, you suck. You're not very good. And they tell you that all the time, that you're horrible. You can't do your job. So I really had a lot of struggles with that as well. So when I got out, I said, I want to make sure that I open up a place for everybody to be able to get care, but I really wanted to specialize in our military.
That's great. What a great story.
Mhm.
And you seems to be doing really, really well with that. Your offices have grown in New Mexico. You have a great whole team that you work with. And everyone seems to be very busy, very active with promoting positivity and wanting to get people help and get them in a spot they need to be.
Mhm.
So I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you listening to me. And I'm glad that we can actually provide a service in Nashua where it's not just a one person office, where we have multiple clinicians here that can help with multiple people. And it's not just firefighters, it's not just police, it's not just EMS, it's everybody. So military and all of us in the first responder field, if you need, again, you need a help, I can't express it enough, reach out to these guys, get the help that you need. You know, we got the business cards here, we got the pamphlets here, the background, like we got it all. So like if you need the information, it's all right there. All you got to do is literally pick up the phone, call, go on the website, and they're going to help you out. They don't care about the insurance off the bat. If you're in need right now to talk to somebody, that's what you need to do. So New Hampshire, listen, I want you to do it. Guys and girls, if you're needing help, this is the people you need to go to, or anybody. But if
Family, kids.
Anybody, exactly. Family, kids, just, I encourage you, I beg of you to get the help that you so desperately need, and to be better for your family so you can be in the now and not looking behind you or in a dark place where you don't think you can crawl out of. And again, that bucket, once it starts overflowing, it's hard to stop it. So make sure you're doing your due diligence to get the help that you need. Reach out to the people who are here to help you. That's what they want to do. Just like we want to help people, they want to help us. So Stacey, my twin sister, Dr. Stacey Goldstein-Dwyer, I appreciate you being on the C.A.N. Report.
Thanks for offering.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing what you do. I appreciate you being all of the services you provide for New Mexico and New Hampshire. And I think it's a great thing that we got going on. So the grand opening was today. They're ready to help you. And like their slogan said, let's talk. So make sure you guys are picking up those phones or come by the office, pay us a visit, and let's get things going. Y'all take care, stay safe, Mazel Tov.